Hi, everyone. Welcome to week 10. This week, we are going to be wrapping up our multimodal argument and explanatory essay paper. And so let's go ahead and talk about this week's assignment. This week, what I want you to do is write your explanatory essay about the multimodal argument that you created. What I'm going to be looking for here is very specific. I'm going to be looking for four things, and I've listed them here on the assignment. I'm going to be looking for a summary where you talk about the genre and medium of your project. I'm going to be looking for intentions. Who is your intended audience, and what is your purpose for creating this text, this like multimodal argument that you've made? I'm also going to be looking at for rhetorical analysis, and so this is what we did with our last project. And so I want you to do, what we call meta-analysis, where you're looking at your own work that you've created and you're saying, here's how I use logos, here's how I use ethos, here's how I use pathos. And it can be a little challenging sometimes to think about our own work that way, but it's really, really important to be able to kind of think through that. And so I want to get you some practice with it. And then finally, I'm wanting you to work on genre analysis. Again, it's going to be meta-analysis, but here what you're doing is you're going to say, all right, I made a how-to video, right? And so then I want to make sure in my genre analysis, I'm thinking about what would I expect to see in a how-to video? Like, what do how-to videos do or show or look like or sound like or whatever? And then you want to make sure that you're describing how you fit your text into that expectation, right? Into that model. And that's why it was really helpful, I hope, to find a model text that you can look at and analyze, because sometimes it's really hard to think about this stuff without having something that we can kind of point to and say, okay, the model text is this, so I'm going to do that. And then you can do that. You can include that kind of analysis in your essay. So, I wanted to just show you too at the bottom here, what I'm looking for in the explanatory essay is exactly what's described here. There shouldn't be any surprises. I grade this paper on completion. And so as long as you've covered the things that are required in this rubric and you've done it for 3 pages, you should be getting 100% on the essay, right? Okay. And remember, I do not grade your multimodal argument part. That is just something that you're creating and that you're going to talk about in the essay. Okay. So here, I just wanted to show you, and this is included in the multimodal argument and explanatory essay description right at the top. This is a poster I created for Comic-Con this past summer. And so I presented this at an academic conference that was at, if any of you've heard of San Diego Comic-Con. And it was really exciting and a big deal. I'd never made a poster before, and so this was a challenge for me. I don't think it's like the best poster I've ever seen in my life, but I did my best. And one of the things that was helpful is that because I never made this before, anything like this before, really, I had to really think through how I was going to make it. And that made it a little bit easier, I think, for me to write a sample explanatory essay for you. So I wrote on a sample explanatory essay for you. Please feel free to copy, my formatting for this, the kinds of things I was doing, like I'm including headers for each of the different 4 sections that you're also required to do that are included in the rubric. You can bold words if you want to make sure that like they're standing out and I can find them easily. But I'm just hoping that looking over this will give you a stronger sense of what my expectations are for the project. And so you don't feel, I know it's kind of an unusual project. I don't want you to feel confused or like you're worried that you're doing it correctly. If you're looking at my essay, I hope that this will help you feel more confident. I just wanted to remind you that it's here and just kind of show you. I talk specifically about the poster that I created, and then I included a couple of student examples last week too that I hope will be helpful as well, just to get a good sense of like the different kinds of things you can make and how you would write about them in your explanatory essay. Anyway, that's it for this week. I hope you had a good weekend. Please let me know if you have any questions about this project or if you want to make sure you're on the right track or you're having trouble rhetorically analyzing yourself. I am here for you. And I'm really looking forward to seeing these projects. All right, have a good one.